Welcome to this explainer. You know, electricity is basically an invisible force, right? It powers absolutely everything in our modern world. But because we literally can't see it, working with it can sometimes feel like, well, fumbling around in the dark. And that's exactly where your multimeter comes in. Think of it as your own personal X-ray vision. It's a translator that turns that invisible electrical pressure and flow into clear, readable numbers, safely. Today, we're going to get completely hands-on and master this essential tool. So, here's our roadmap for today. We've got 1. Safety precautions before use. 2. Measuring voltage, both AC and DC. 3. Measuring current. 4. Measuring resistance. 5. The continuity test. And finally, number 6, common multimeter mistakes.
Okay, let's dive right into this. A multimeter is, simply put, an essential electrical testing instrument. We use it to measure 4 main things: voltage, current, resistance, and, on pretty much all digital meters nowadays, continuity. It's really the all-in-one diagnostic powerhouse utilized every single day by electricians, maintenance engineers, HVAC techs, you name it.
Section 1. Safety precautions before use. Look, before we can even start reading those invisible forces, we've got to deeply respect the danger here. Your safety prep, it's absolutely everything. Always start by gearing up with the right PPE, specifically insulated gloves and safety glasses. Next up, you want to do a quick visual inspection of your test leads. Look for any cracked insulation or damage. Actually, verify you're using the correct measurement range on the dial, and double-check that your probes are in the exact right terminals on the meter itself. Oh, and if you're working on industrial equipment, always rigorously follow your facility's lockout, tagout, or load-out procedures. No exceptions. So the crucial point here, and if you remember one thing, let it be this: never measure resistance on a live circuit. Seriously, I cannot overstate this. You see, resistance is measured by the meter sending a tiny little bit of its own internal battery power through a component. If that circuit is live, that external power is going to clash right with your meter. Best case scenario, you blow some internal fuses. Worst case, you're looking at a disastrous failure right in your hands.
All right, Section 2, measuring voltage, AC and DC.
Now that we're completely prepped and safe, let's move on to our first practical skill: measuring the electrical pressure of a system. Let's walk through the steps methodically. First, you're going to insert the black probe into the COM terminal. COM stands for common, and honestly, just think of it as the universal home base for that black probe. Next, insert your red probe into the V-ohm terminal. Then, grab the dial and select either AC voltage, usually shown with a little squiggly line, or DC voltage, which has a solid and dashed line. Finally, just touch the probes across your power source or component and read the display. To put that into perspective, testing a standard wall outlet will give you around 220 to 240 volts AC, while a standard car battery will read about 12 volts DC.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world application of Ohm's law in our circuits. The math tells us that current, which we call I, equals voltage divided by resistance. So say we measure a voltage of 12 volts and a resistance of 6 ohms, the resulting current is exactly 2 amps. The multimeter basically takes these concrete mathematical relationships and makes them completely visible to us.
Moving on, Section 3, measuring current, or amps. Now this brings us perfectly to our next core function. And folks, this requires a high-stakes shift in how we actually place our probes, as well as the state of the circuit itself. Notice the strict contrast here. When you measure voltage, you're placing the meter directly across the power source. But when you measure current, you must place the meter in series with an open circuit. You're essentially breaking the circuit and forcing the electricity to flow entirely through your multimeter. Never, ever connect a meter set to current directly across a power source. That just creates a direct short circuit, and we definitely don't want that. Because of this big difference, our steps have to change. Step 1, turn off the circuit entirely. Step 2, and you really must not forget this, move your red probe from that voltage terminal over to the dedicated A or MA terminal for current. Step 3, open the circuit and connect the multimeter in series so it's acting like a bridge. And step 4, energize the circuit and take your reading. This is exactly how you'd measure, say, a 2.5 amp motor control circuit or maybe a smaller 250 milliamp electronic board. Section 4, measuring resistance, ohms. Let's move to resistance and see how this builds. Now, as we prep to measure the resistance of a component, what was our golden rule? Right, never do this on a live circuit. So step 1 is to de-energize the circuit completely. Make sure absolutely no voltage is present. Step 2, verify your black probe is sitting in COM and move that red probe back over to the V-ohm terminal. Step 3, turn your dial to resistance, the omega symbol, and step 4, touch the probes directly across the component. A really great pro tip here, disconnect one side of the component from the circuit, if you can. That way other wiring won't kind of bleed over and interfere with your reading. Using this method, you might read 20 ohms on a heater element, or just a couple of ohms on a motor winding, depending on how big it is.
Up next, Section 5, the continuity test. Okay, we've arrived at what is arguably the most satisfying sensory-driven tool at your disposal. Imagine you're out there troubleshooting this massive electrical panel. How do you quickly check a fuse or verify that a huge run of cable isn't broken somewhere hidden inside its jacket? You don't always need an exact, precise numeric resistance reading, right? Sometimes you just need a really fast yes or no answer to see if the path is actually clear.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer simplicity of this. You literally just select the continuity mode. It's usually marked by a little bell or sound wave symbol. Touch your probes across the wire or connection. If continuity exists, meaning there's a solid, unbroken path, the meter just beeps. It's super simple, but it is the ultimate diagnostic shortcut for troubleshooting circuits and verifying cable integrity in seconds.
Section 6, common multimeter mistakes.
As we wrap up this explainer, we definitely need to talk about what goes wrong when we get, well, complacent. These are the rapid-fire pitfalls you absolutely must avoid. First up, measuring resistance on a live circuit. We already covered why that's a disaster. Second, using the wrong probe terminals, like, say, leaving the red probe in the amps jack while you're trying to check voltage. Don't do it. Third, exceeding the meter's maximum rating. Fourth, measuring current in parallel instead of in series, which, again, causes a short. And finally, ignoring CAT safety ratings. Those ratings dictate the max electrical environment your specific meter is actually built to handle safely. So stay vigilant, slow down, and just double-check your meter settings every single time. It'll keep you safe.
A multimeter is, without a doubt, one of the most valuable troubleshooting tools in all of electrical work. By fully understanding how to safely measure voltage, current, and resistance, you can quickly diagnose faults, verify equipment conditions, and radically improve your system's reliability. So now that you have the skills to make the invisible entirely visible, what will you troubleshoot next?